Relationship,
we do.
actually. I mean, it's a very interesting story. Some of you will know this if you lived in the Paleolithic era, as Henry and I did.
A powerful bond, at least it seems so. This tale? Absolutely riveting. Some of you might recall if you've lived through the Stone Age like Henry and I apparently have. They exchanged vows on a $500 million yacht under a Mediterranean sunset, where champagne shimmered like liquid gold and their grins cost more than islands. But fast forward just a few weeks, he's dragging her to court. Not over heartbreak, not some simple misunderstanding. He's suing her for $5 billion. Yes, Jeff Bezos, the planet's third richest human, has filed a sealed legal strike against his fresh bride Lauren Sanchez, the same woman he dazzled with a diamond so massive memes claimed it blinded satellites. Now that dreamlike romance is collapsing fast. Insiders say Lauren is rattled, blindsided by Bezos's cold legal ambush. In court, she's pleading. In private, she's begging him to back down. But the lawsuit? It's silent, ruthless, unshakable. So how did their world go from flying high in private jets to the edge of public disgrace? Why is tech's mightiest man turning on the woman he just married? This isn't just heartbreak, it's a war over power, reputation, and a $200 billion empire Jeff refuses to gamble. Dive into how Lauren went from fairy tale bride to potential billionaire heartbreak, sailing aboard one of Bezos's prized mega yachts. She was encircled by Hollywood titans and Silicon Valley royalty. The guest list? Less wedding, more front cover of Forbes. Oprah, Kim Kardashian, Bill Gates icons mingling as cameras flashed champagne frothed, and Lauren Sanchez wore a smile that screamed she'd won the golden pass to forever, and maybe in her heart she believed it. The world watched as she slid on a diamond ring so vast it became a trending topic. From A-list galas to private royal soirees, Jeff and Lauren played the part, perfectly smiling, intertwined, seemingly unbreakable. For a fleeting moment, it all seemed authentic, as though the scandal that birthed their romance had dissolved into myth. But beneath that high-gloss exterior, the seams were splitting. The same man who orchestrated every wedding detail had also laid plans for its potential collapse. The prenup wasn't ceremonial, it was a fortress. And just weeks after her vows, Lauren discovered she hadn't walked into a love story, she'd walked into a legal chessboard. Jeff Bezos wasn't open to edits. He didn't amass one of the greatest fortunes in modern history by risking vulnerability, especially not in love. After the $38 billion separation from Mackenzie Scott, one principle was carved into his legacy: protect the throne, no matter the cost. Long before Lauren slipped on that extraterrestrial gem, Bezos's legal army was in motion, drafting, refining, locking it all in. That prenup? It was no ordinary agreement. It was a fortified vault. Sources claim it's one of the most rigid prenups ever forged, covering not only finances but media control, NDA enforcement, estate division, and even scripted statements post-divorce. If the dream crumbled, Bezos wouldn't just retain his billions, he'd own the story. And Lauren? She signed without protest, caught in the whirlwind of luxury, power, and illusion. To her, it felt like harmless paperwork, a formality. Saying no might have raised alarms, so she didn't. But what she mistook for mutual trust was quiet surrender. In that moment, she didn't just sign a contract, she signed the pre-new pun, knowingly surrendering every ounce of leverage she had. And then Lauren Sanchez's world began to fracture, not just emotionally, but publicly. The moment the sealed lawsuit slipped into the spotlight, her professional image began evaporating. In the months post-wedding, she had been building quietly. TV production ventures, lifestyle brands, fresh connections across Hollywood and beyond. To some, she was becoming more than just Bezos's wife. She was carving out her own name. But the glue holding it all together? Proximity to power. When whispers of divorce surfaced and chilling details of the prenup reached legal circles, everything stalled. Calls went unanswered. Sponsors vanished. Streaming projects hit pause. Her name quietly disappeared from philanthropic boards. In the eyes of her backers, she wasn't Mrs. Bezos. Maybe she never was. Maybe she was just a stand-in. Just like that the woman once crowned Bezos's muse became invisible. The same tabloids that drooled over her ring were now eerily silent. She tried to stay ahead, reassuring friends, calming business partners, insisting it was just a rough patch. But they had already made up their minds. Without Bezos, she wasn't an asset. Lauren finally saw the truth. She hadn't married into power, she'd leased it. Most people panic during a messy split. Jeff Bezos? He mobilizes like he's prepping for launch. Insiders confirm the $5 billion lawsuit wasn't driven by heartbreak. This wasn't about bitterness, it was about evidence. Messages, voice memos, screenshots, photos, emails, every detail meticulously archived, time-stamped, and categorized. Bezos had been quietly gathering proof for months. Insiders reveal he anticipated Lauren might one day share her version of the story, whether through a memoir, a bombshell interview, or a cryptic podcast reveal. So he prepared to shut it all down, instantly. This wasn't just about shielding his wealth, it was about preserving his narrative. Sources claim Bezos' NDAs are so ruthless. Even Lauren's closest friends risk legal retaliation if they speak. And buried deep in confidential court filings lies a chilling clause. She is barred from ever publicly referencing their marriage again. Total erasure. Should she defy it? All he has to do is hit send. It's a quiet war invisible until it detonates. And the cruelest twist? Lauren never saw it coming. She had no idea he was building a legal fortress around her until this storm didn't start with lawsuits, yachts, or headlines. It began quietly, before the world was watching, with a secret that ignited a chain reaction no one could contain. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez didn't fall head over heels in a fairy tale. Their connection sparked in shadows through hushed phone calls, coded messages, and burner phones. At the time, Bezos was still married to Mackenzie Scott, his partner in Syward Life and Legacy, the woman who helped launch Amazon from a humble garage. 25 years of marriage, 4 children, and a shared empire that was reshaping global philanthropy. Lauren, too, was married to Hollywood power agent Patrick Whitesell, a man deeply embedded in entertainment's elite circles. Ironically, he and Bezos were friends. The affair unfolded in secret. Exclusive dinners, encrypted chats, stealth rendezvous. But no secret stays buried forever. In 2019, everything erupted. Intimate messages between Bezos and Lauren were leaked, flirty emails, grand confessions, and declarations of forbidden love exploded across tabloids. The media frenzy was instant. Bezos' carefully crafted image as a clean-cut tech visionary shattered overnight. And their love story? It wasn't born from romance. It was born from scandal. For most, that kind of fallout ends everything. But not for Bezos and Sanchez. They didn't run, they accelerated. In the wake of chaos, their romance transformed into a full-blown PR campaign. The couple, once dragged through tabloid sludge, now graced red carpets and glossy spreads. Yacht getaways became luxury editorials. They didn't just weather the storm, they rebranded it. What began as betrayal was reframed as fate. A modern fairy tale. A love reborn. Vogue featured their glow. Vanity Fair called Lauren Jeff's emotional compass. Paparazzi followed their every move, smiles, kisses, hand-in-hand strolls through the French Riviera. They were inseparable. From rocket launches to red carpets, Lauren Sanchez became a fixture in Jeff Bezos' orbit. Once branded the other woman, she evolved into the polished, resilient partner who stood firm through scandal. To the public, she wasn't a shadow anymore, she was reinvention in motion. But beneath the gowns and photo spreads, betrayal lingered. No matter how many smiles they staged, the foundation was fractured. For a while, the illusion held. Power couple equals unstoppable. Lauren stood tall at his side, a symbol of transformation, from TV host to power player. Yet, appearances deceive. While Lauren embraced the limelight, Bezos controlled it. Insiders claim every photo, every caption, every interview was carefully scripted. Slowly, she felt it, the loss of autonomy. Once a daring pilot and Emmy-winning journalist, she was reduced to a rehearsed performance, not moving but being moved, her identity blurred. The question shifted. Who is Lauren Sanchez? To who does Bezos need her to be? And in his world, love doesn't give power, it grants position with conditions. The closer she spun, the clearer it became. Bezos wasn't orbiting her. He was the axis. The silence grew louder. No more yachts, no more red carpets, just distance cold. Clinical. Until one day she walked into his office, no entourage, no makeup, just resolve. Witnesses say she looked him in the eye and whispered, "If you do this, you'll destroy me not just in court but everywhere." Bezos's reply? Still, unshaken. I need to protect myself. I won't lose again. That was it. A door closed both literally and metaphorically. In that moment, she wasn't partner, not future, not legacy. She was an inconvenience. But Lauren Sanchez has never disappeared quietly. Before Bezos, she was already someone raised in Albuquerque, a Mexican-American pilot who defied odds flew her own helicopters in Hollywood, founded one of the first female-owned aerial film companies, and won an Emmy as a journalist. That's what makes her story powerful. No lawsuit, NDA, or silence can erase that. So the question isn't if she'll rise again, it's when. Because this isn't just a breakup. It's a battle for voice power and legacy. And make no mistake, Lauren Sanchez isn't done yet. What do you think? Was this ending scripted from the starter? Did the fairy tale collapse under its own weight? Please subscribe and like video. Thank you.